Grand Rising, beautiful women of women's empowerment, we made it! We made it. What did we not, oh my God, have to overcome to be here today? I want you guys to stand up and clap for yourselves. And I want you to repeat this with me. W-E Women's Empowerment. 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 Come on. W-E Women's Empowerment. W-E Women's Empowerment. W-E Women's Empowerment. Man, y'all are powerful. Let me tell y'all, I feel like I got my back in here. I ain't gotta fight nobody really. This poem is called Y'all Are Resilient, I Am Awakened, and We Are the It Factor. Y'all are resilient. Empowerment is when you reclaim your own power that we lost due to the trauma we experienced. In life, we have won and we have failed, but in that, we have learned that we are powerful and win. It was not easy to get up and show up for yourself every day. We learned that in the end, it was truly worth it. To excel, to reach your goals, to love yourself while learning to make your own decisions, girl, work it. We learn to punk life and tell it what we ain't gonna do and what we will do without fear. We punk the shame and the guilt of past decisions made. We let life know that in the words of Terry, we is here. In the words of Lisa, that if we took baby steps, we would get to where we were going instead of the big steps. Terry said that if you doubt, it's out. And to always keep your power. Because I had given away so many times to people, places, and things, but today, I've learned not only to choose where it goes, but who was deserving of it, and today, I walk in that power. It was Monica who pushed us to be our own advocates. Make sure you're taking care of you within. And Tracy, who said that we've been taught not to take up that space that we desire to be in, but to be direct and clear about what your ask is. I am awakened. When I walked into the room, I didn't know what I was going to get, but I know that I needed it because I had excusitis. I was tired of finding reasons for why I was flying bound, and I had to get up. And in the famous words of Aisha, in the middle of my shame and my pain, with tears in my eyes, who said, I get it, but get it done. That allowed me to raise up that little girl, turning the page, who had drawn up inside of me and walked out the woman that I have become today. And I had to wake up and shake up. I am not to be housed. You cannot contain me or control me. I am light. It was those words and so many others that made me realize that I was a sitting duck. And a sitting duck was a dead duck, and I had to move. Because my son, who didn't ask to be here, had never had a home. I had become homeless when I was 5 months pregnant. I had 2 years of being out there, and I no longer had the option to lose. What women's empowerment did for me is in my skin. It has empowered the woman within. And I've learned in just 9 weeks that being homeless doesn't mean that I am less of a person or that I do not matter. That candle that we lit every day has been enlightened inside of me. It blazes brightly because I got the swagger. And we are the it factor. I am learning that I can define what I want. And I am learning to advocate for myself in a way that I never have. Learning to tell people what I want and not feeling apologetic about it or indifferent. Ubuntu! There is now a period at the end of the sentence. And I'm walking in my truth. Speaking up for myself is freedom. And raising my voice is not arrogance, but resilience. I am the caged bird who is finally singing and talking. I came out the cage to realize that there was so much more to life, and that though that cage was my safety.
Come on. It's all right.
Let's go. It did not allow me to grow, but to hold on to every strife that kept me there. It didn't allow me to see my potential. And it only allowed me to see the world through a slighted view. It was only until I looked out the door of the cage that I realized that there was and is so much beauty in the word I'm quintessential. Beauty didn't only have to exist in the cage or in me, but it can exist past pain and heartache, past trauma and homelessness and all the turbulences that come with it. And it can exist in everything that I see. And for that, I am and was the caged bird, but now I choose to see. In closing this poetic vibe of vindication, they call it a job readiness program, but I call it a life recovery program. I gained so much from my first class. I can't say that it was a particular word that stuck with me on that day. It was just the environment, the laughter, the conversation, something that I needed. And if I had stopped the program after day one, I would have already have been fulfilled. They had already done so much. I feel empowered just being in the room. And if there was nothing else that they could do for me, they have blessed my soul. And I am honored to be in the room. I'll never forget this place. I feel like I've been poured into and they haven't even started. I spent a long time walking around with an empty cup, trying to find out how to fill it up again. And now I just want to pour and give. Lastly, in the words of Momo Hana, that we are not valued by the amount of friends that we have, but by the quality of the person that you have become. By your experiences that you don't let shape you or keep you from whatever you want to do. You don't have to follow the paths other people set for you, even if it begins and ends with no's. You make your own yes, and then you put that yes to work for you. And women's empowerment, you are our yes. So sisters, it's time to live up to your potential and stop dumbing and stuffing it down, because I want you to soar. I want you to know that soaring in the face of others is not arrogant. And it doesn't make you a bad person. You own it and you have the authority. So you